Hey everyone, Jason Case here with another video, and today I'm going to talk about Google's recent algorithm update that rolled out earlier this week. So Google updates their algorithm every single day. However, several times a year they make broad core updates, and these broad core updates will have more significant impact. And some websites will see major fluctuation. Either some will see huge drop-offs in traffic, and others will see possibly big boost, and others might not see much of a change at all. If you're not seeing much of a change, or if you saw a big boost in traffic, then great for you. You haven't been penalized by Google. If you did see a drop off, then it's not saying that you were penalized. It's just saying that you definitely need to look into things and possibly switch up your strategy. So what I'm going to talk about today is just general guidelines and best practices that you should follow. If you follow these, then you're going to increase your chances that you'll never be impacted by Google's algorithm updates down the road. I'm not saying this is bulletproof, but following these guidelines, I've never seen any of our sites ever impacted by this. So if you are ever impacted, this could be a major loss to your business, especially if you're ranking really heavily and you're generating a ton of traffic and you see a huge drop off. This could impact your revenue to your business substantially. So you definitely should be looking at these things. If SEO, content marketing, web lead generation from your website is a big part of your marketing strategy, then you definitely should be following best practices. So in my mind, I always try to look at things as if there's no Google in mind. Obviously, you got to think about Google's algorithm, but in my mind, that comes second, because you have to think of what Google wants to provide to their users, to their searchers. They want to provide an excellent user experience. And that's what you should be trying to provide too. So if both of your goals align there, then you should never really be impacted significantly by Google's updates down the road. So let's talk about a couple scenarios here. Let's just say link building is a big part of SEO. It's a big part of building authority to your website. So link building is very hard to do. It's challenging. It takes a lot of time, and usually you get low response rates, and it's just it's tedious. So this is why a lot of website owners or marketing companies take shortcuts here, and they go after easy link targets. So they go after spammy article directories or spammy sites or just easy sites that you can get links from. Well, that's not the best approach. So you have to ask yourself, would you want a link on that site if there's no Google? Is that really aligning with your target market? If not, then if you're not going to send targeted website traffic to your website, then you should never ask or request or try to get a link from that site, because it's not going to benefit you in any way. And most likely, it's going to be looked at the same way by Google. But now on the other hand, if you can get a link from a site that covers content around your industry and has a huge following and it aligns with your target market, then if there's no Google, then you would probably want to get a link from that website, because that's going to send targeted website traffic to you if there's no Google. And guess what? Now, when you start thinking about it in Google's algorithm mind, that's going to be a benefit to your website as well. So that's just one scenario. But same thing goes with on-site optimization strategies as well. So you should be optimizing your site for fast load times. People don't want to wait more than 4 or 5 seconds for a website to load. It should be loading lightning quick, 1, 2, 3 seconds. If your site's loading slower, and you can test this through Google PageSpeed Insights, or GTmetrix has a tool too. These are free tools that you can run your website through to see how fast your website's loading. And if it's not loading fast, these tools will give you suggestions on ways you can improve the speed. You definitely should be looking at this. Secure your website. This is another thing that Google has been pushing website masters to secure their website. And this is using an HTTPS protocol. So this is a secure protocol that encrypts the data of your website users. So again, it should be for your user experience. You don't want to risk compromising your users' data. So you should be doing this anyway, even if Google doesn't recommend this. So all these things that you should be doing you should be doing for your own user experience anyway. And if you're doing that, then it should align with Google's algorithm. Now, quality content. A lot of times back in the day, you could write a 500-word blog post and be ranking. So there's more people would just be trying to pump out a lot of quantity around specific keywords. Well, that's not the case today. You need to go in depth with your content. You could have 7,500 word, 10,000 plus word articles, but it has to make sense. Just don't go long format because you think that's what Google wants. Again, take Google out of the equation and write quality content that your user wants. If you're finding and struggling on adding more content around the topic that you're covering, then that should be it. It could be 1,000 words. But if you can keep on elaborating on it and going in more depth, be more actionable, add step-by-step guides if possible, include lists of stuff, just very in-depth content that gives the user the best information possible. And if that's the case, then you should be good. But that content also needs to be read easily. So if your CSS guidelines are not optimized well and the user can't read through that content easy, and it's not separated by images and subheadings, and the text is in big blocks, then it's going to be hard for a person to read. So you got to kind of go outside of your normal writing habits. Maybe a couple lines per paragraph, and that's it. This makes it easy for a person to scan through, and especially when there's images that are breaking up the content and subheadings, it makes the user to be able to scan through this content easily to find what they're looking for, read it, digest it, and then hopefully you have a good internal linking structure to link to other pages on your site, which will reduce bounce rate. But following all this stuff and these best practices and thinking of it from your user experience in mind, you should never be penalized by Google down the road. Now, you might see some fluctuations down, but that's normal. You'll see some up and down swings, but seeing huge drop-offs, this should never happen if you're thinking about the user in mind. If you ever question that and you think that, well, my user wouldn't really benefit from this, I'm just doing this more to align with ranking higher in the search engines, then I would probably nix that strategy and not do it. So either way, if you have been impacted by any of this, then you definitely should look into cleaning up the content on your site, optimizing your site better. And if you're just getting started with this and you have no clue about SEO or content marketing or website optimization, link building, all this stuff, there's so much stuff out there, feel free to reach out. This is what I do on a daily basis. I love this stuff. I live and breathe it, and I'd be happy to help. We've helped small businesses increase their website traffic substantially. We've even helped businesses that have been in business 30, 40 plus years increase their business revenue and leads substantially from SEO and content marketing strategies. So if you need help with any of this, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help. Otherwise, we'll talk tomorrow. Take care and enjoy your weekend.